Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7, starts streaming now.
On this hour of Eyewitness News, we are updating breaking news after gunshots were reported at the parking lot of a West Suburban mall.
Plus, new at 7, the young survivor of the Highland Park tragedy, who's now meeting with lawmakers to demand change.
And tonight, we honor our country's veterans with ceremonies in the city and the suburbs, plus the effort to support veterans starting new jobs.
A bit later tonight, the swimmer making Chicago proud. She's in the record books, despite a disability.
Got to hear that story tonight. And the Theta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha celebrating 100 years of helping others. Good evening, everybody. I'm Cheryl Burton. Thanks for joining us on this Feel Good Friday night.
We made it. Election week, and here we are. I'm Rob Elgas. We want to start with an update of breaking news we've been following for you all evening. Police in Lombard investigating a report of shots fired at the Yorktown Center shopping mall. Police say they have now cleared the area. Earlier, they said there is no danger to the public, and the mall has remained open while police investigate. Shoppers have been leaving and entering the mall without interruption.
All right, we have made it through another work week together. It is Friday as we take a live look at the city all lit up on a Friday night. What a difference a day makes. Yeah, and a drop in our temperatures, just 24 hours. And we're talking maybe a chance of snow. We had like shorts on, short sleeves.
It was in the 70s yesterday at this time. Right.
Yeah.
And here we are ready to bundle up.
40 degrees colder.
Wait, are those the temperatures?
This is when I exit.
Right.
That's
Exit
right now.
stage left.
Exiting.
So we've been going down all day temperature-wise. I didn't realize it's freezing out there in some places.
It is, and it's even below freezing in some places. Woodstock down to 30 degrees. I mean,
You like it?
Oh, no, I'm just trying to stay warm.
She was dancing. I'm like, hold on.
I'm dancing because it's Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Okay, I got you. Some people do like it, though. It feels like the holidays,
Right.
Cheryl.
Mm-hmm. Right. It puts you
but
in the
I
mood.
mean, we just have so many more months to get through. This is well below average. We should be closer to 50. And it's hard when we just came off of a day where we had temps in near 80. We had record warmth yesterday, and now we're down 40 degrees. Pretty substantial drop. From this time yesterday, we're down about anywhere from about 30 to 35 degrees, but remember our high yesterday was 76. As we go into the overnight, temps continue to drop. We are looking at the coldest morning yet this season. We're expected to drop to freezing or below at O'Hare, which make the first time that happens this season. And if we do hit 32, then it'll be the 7th latest freeze in the season. So just to give you an idea, we are a little bit late in terms of our low temperature. It's been such a mild start to this month. As we go through the weekend, temperatures not really improving. Highs only in the 30s. We're also tracking the threat of a few snow flurries for tomorrow. Sunday, we get you the sunshine, and then potentially Rob and Cheryl, our first measurable snow next week. We'll talk about that in more detail in a little bit.
Say it isn't snow. All right.
You've been waiting like a year to put that one out there.
Yeah, no.
Ready for it. It's appropriate
All right,
now.
Cheryl, thank you for that. It's a story that's new at 7 tonight. A 6-year-old survivor of the Highland Park parade shooting wants the country's gun laws to change. He has written letters to lawmakers. Now he is planning to join his mother on a trip to Washington, D.C.
Ran for my life in that parade, and I am deeply terrified of what happened.
I don't think anyone talks about the after effects, and I like to think of it as an earthquake. There are so many aftershocks that go through a community after they survive a mass shooting event.
Wow. Well, Ashby Beasley has made several trips to the Capitol to push for an assault weapons ban, and she says her son Beau has been asking to go with her. The two are heading to D.C. on Tuesday to meet with lawmakers.
And there's a new memorial honoring the 7 people killed during the Highland Park parade. The flowers now surround 7 plaques in the Rose Garden next to City Hall. The memorial moved from its previous location at Central and St. John's, where officials say it was affecting people emotionally in their day-to-day lives. New location offers residents a chance to reflect in peace.
I was at the intersection where the shooting took place, and I feel like one of the very blessed ones. But I continue to just remember the people who were so deeply affected.
Counselors were on hand at the new memorial site today, joined by therapy ponies and dogs to help grieving residents.
But police need your help in finding these people. Investigators say they used pepper spray to rob someone along the CTA Red Line. This all happened around 2 this morning on the platform at the Red Line Station Roosevelt stop. Police say the four approached the victim, pepper spray them, and then they take his belongings.
The company building the Obama Presidential Center will take part in anti-bias training next week after a disturbing discovery on that job site. Lakeside Alliance says construction work is still suspended after police say a noose was found there yesterday. Workers snapped a picture of an officer leaving with the noose in a bag. The Obama Foundation calling it a, quote, shameless act of cowardice and hate. Lake Alliance offering a $100,000 reward to find those responsible.
A homeowner confronting several people trying to steal catalytic converters outside of his home, and then a round of gunshots ring out. Now, this all happened yesterday morning in the 3700 block of West 69th Place in Chicago's West Lawn neighborhood. ABC 7 obtained video of the moment from the neighbor's security camera.
Wow.
In an interview with Univision, the homeowner, who did not want to be identified, said his home was blasted with 17 gunshots flying into his bedroom and living room. He also says he hurried over to the side of the bed to protect himself. The victim says it was like a movie as he dodged bullets. Neither he nor any of his family members were hurt.
Now to the Chicago mayor's race. After much speculation, longtime Chicago Alderman Tom Tunney says he's not running. Tunney represents the 44th Ward, which includes Lakeview. Tunney's retiring from city council at the end of his term. More than a dozen others, including Mayor Lori Lightfoot, are running.
Outgoing Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney visiting Chicago today. The vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol spoke at the University of Chicago. She reflected on the outcome of Tuesday's midterm elections, calling it a win for, quote, Team Normal.
I think you saw many candidates who were reflecting sort of the election denialism of President Trump rejected. Not all of them, and some races are still left to be called, but I think it was a really important and frankly hopeful outcome for democracy.
And Cheney went on to say that words matter and, quote, Republicans need stiffer spines to prevent future insurrections.
Application process for student loan relief is now suspended. This is the message displayed tonight on the federal student aid website. Biden administration has stopped accepting loan forgiveness applications. This after a federal judge in Texas struck down the plan to cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for tens of millions of Americans yesterday. The Justice Department has appealed this ruling.
And Chicago and Cook County have moved from low to medium for community spread of COVID-19. Now, as we head towards the Thanksgiving holiday and into the winter months, health officials are once again urging people to get the updated COVID booster shots and the flu vaccine. Now, along with Chicago and Cook County, DuPage, Lake, McHenry, Will, and Grundy counties also are at the medium COVID-19 community level. Also tonight, the CDC is warning of massive increases in flu infections, the season hitting hard early. So far, there have been close to 3 million flu cases nationwide.
As those flu numbers spike, there is also concern over the shortage of an antibiotic used to treat other illnesses like pneumonia, bronchitis, and ear infections. The Food and Drug Administration is warning that amoxicillin is in short supply, specifically doses commonly prescribed for pediatric illnesses. Local healthcare providers are frustrated, saying they anticipate that half of their amoxicillin prescriptions cannot be filled, forcing them to look for alternatives.
They either have to take more volume, or maybe an older child can manage to swallow a pill. Those are alternatives. There are also several other antibiotics that work for ear infections and pneumonias quite well.
Versus teeth.
Doctors at Lurie Children's Hospital say parents should check with their pharmacies to see what's available. Reach out to their child's pediatrician if they can't get the prescribed medication.
It was a momentous day for Oak Park, the village just west of Chicago, holding a very special ceremony for its newest police chief. She is the first female chief in Oak Park's history. Well, this afternoon, we heard from Chief Shatanja Johnson.
I look forward to working together so that we can make sure that both communities thrive. We bounce things off of each other all the time.
Chief Cheney Jackson has been with the police department for 23 years now and has been serving as the interim chief since April.
Congratulations to her. Today's Veterans Day, and across the area we're seeing events to honor our military heroes.
And here in Chicago, the city paying tribute to veterans at commemoration ceremonies at the Soldier Field. Well, members of each branch of the military, along with Gold Star family members who lost a loved one to war, attended. We heard from a 98-year-old World War II Army veteran who told us how much today means to him.
This is really important to me because finally, after all these years, a little short like me, little corporal, gets to be known because I lived this long.
Oh, no,
wow,
deserves a lot of credit.
Beautiful, I mean, spirit there. Well, also there was a $25,000 donation by the Joel Osco Foundation of Color Incorporated. It is a Chicago organization that finds homeless veterans housing and work, and we always say thank you for your service and sacrifice.
In Aurora, veterans marched in a parade along with junior ROTC cadets from Army and Academy. Both groups were proud to take part in remembering the sacrifices made by those fighting for our country. And tonight we want to introduce you to a business owner working to guide veterans as they start new careers.
As John Garcia shows us tonight, his impact is being felt throughout the city and the suburbs.
Lynn Louder loves talking to customers, especially fellow veterans. And there are plenty of them here at Rosie's Home Cookin'. The place is decorated for Veterans Day, but it's not much different from any other day. There's even a missing man table dedicated to those who made the ultimate sacrifice. The restaurant serves as a business model for the veterans. Louder and his partner Coach as part of their nonprofit Veterans Business Project. It's dedicated to helping veterans start businesses once they're out of the service.
So it's very easy for these veterans to fall into the cracks. We want to be able to give them a helping hand, to show them a way that they can create a future for themselves and their families.
The Veterans Business Project has helped almost 500 veteran-owned businesses get off the ground or in the water. Chicago Fireboat Tours is owned by a couple Navy veterans who were able to buy this 1936 model fireboat and put it into service, giving tours.
When we first saw this boat for sale, it was just a dream. And when we started talking to the organization, they made that dream become reality.
Captain Ray Novak worked in the engine room on a couple of different Navy vessels, but when he got out of the service, he says, like many veterans, he needed help figuring out what to do next.
They helped us work on our business plan and really get our name out there, give us all that moral support that we needed.
Lynn Louder is a Marine who served in Vietnam. Now he views himself as something of a matchmaker. V Harmony helps veterans connect with businesses for sale, opening doors many veterans never knew existed.
Many of these veterans are absolutely far better being a captain of their own rowboat than trying to fit in to the engine room of a big ship, so to speak, or in other words, a corporate kind of a setting.
Things are going well enough for Chicago Fireboat Tours that they're adding to the fleet. In fact, they're putting this former Navy training boat into service in the spring. Along the river, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Very nice story.
Yes, for sure.
A lot of wonderful celebrations to honor and pay tribute to our servicemen and women all across the country and the world. So,
who are the veterans in your family?
Yeah, I've got my dad here on my locket.
Oh, nice.
Because my dad served in the United States Air Force. My mom was a typing teacher in the United States Air Force. She's on the other side of the locket.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm thinking about him today and every person who served this country and the sacrifice, and some who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Right.
And you have also veterans in your family.
Yeah, my dad was a Vietnam War veteran, fought over there with a lot of guys.
Wow.
Yeah, in the jungles, and it affected him, as we know, most of those guys over there. But you think back and reflect, and both our dads are gone now.
Yeah.
But you reflect on how that affected their lives, and then you look at all the vets who are still here and their families, and it's just such a veteran, and whether you served or not, it encompasses your family too.
I was just going to say, you
know,
said
it's
it
like,
affected your father, but it also affected Rob Elgus.
Yeah, it
his
really
son.
did. I mean, it was before, a few years before I was born, obviously, but it affected him in the way he, you know, it was hard. I mean,
everything.
obviously, terrible things. There you go. Salute our heroes. Well done, Greg's directing today.
Look at that.
You just think about those who, I mean, even if you have to go get deployed somewhere for the first time, those young kids, those young men and women, that as a parent is really hard.
I know, and when you lose a family member, I lost a cousin in Vietnam, and he was only there 90 days before he passed away. And we think about everyone, he gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country. And we say, thank you for your service. We're so grateful for your sacrifice and everything you do. You're getting emotional, Rob, and I haven't seen this part of you.
Well, I'm always, about my dad, but I think it's a great way to reflect, because I've never served. I didn't do that, but so many are today, and at least I think in the country now we have this, because Vietnam was different. We have this appreciation, whether it was Afghanistan or Iraq, and you agreed or disagreed with those wars. We always supported our men and women when they came back. That wasn't the case in the early 70s.
Different.
Totally different. So thanks to all of you, and there's parents who are probably watching, and your kids are deployed right now, and you just want to see them and hug them for Thanksgiving.
And there's a really special backstory. 11/11 is the day that you always celebrate and honor veterans, because the 11th month, the 11th day, and we can talk about that at another time, but that's why it's today, specifically on November 11th.
Thanks to all of you, and we feel you. Head tonight to swimmer making Chicago proud, heading to the championships, even after losing a limb.
Plus, the airport's expected to be the busiest time during this Thanksgiving travel period.
Okay, here we go. Weekend's here. It's 34 degrees.
Yeah, Netflix and chill.
Oh, that sounds good.
Disney Plus and chill.
Probably stay indoors, get a nice fire. I almost went and saw that last night.
Yeah,
I was driving past the theater. I was like, should I go? It's 11 o'clock. Catch the showing.
That would have been fun.
I'm gonna wait. It might be good to watch one.
Was it crowded out there?
It looked like it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got to talk about our weather forecast. Cheryl Scott's with us. Wish you would have been with us when it was 75.
Right.
What? Oh, I wasn't.
You weren't. No, you weren't.
I was here
yesterday, but she
you were working on the other shows, not the stream team.
Right. Hanging out with the baby dog, just having a good time, taking walks all night. I'm sure Cheryl did.
Does Lola like the cold weather? Because Snoop and his sister, who lives next door, Ivy, they love cold weather.
They love it? Okay.
They love
She's
the snow.
a hound, so yes,
she gets out there, does some sniffing.
Right now she's on bed rest, but she loves cold weather and the snow.
Is she okay?
Okay.
She's doing okay.
Okay.
Oh, Cheryl, you didn't tell us that Lola.
A little injury right now. It's fine.
Send her our
It's
best.
all going to be fine.
We're thinking about Lola.
We need all the positive vibes.
Positive vibes to Lola.
She can't walk well right now.
Rest up, girl.
Oh, man.
Rest up.
Oh, man.
And what's a good weekend to stay in with her, too?
That's the plan. And a live look over the city. We all need to bundle up. It's going to be a cold one. We have temps in the 30s. Basically, our highs for the weekend. You can see the beautiful skyline, though, and there's that message: salute our heroes on this Veterans Day. So very important there. Hopefully you all are having a nice day. Big transition from yesterday when we were in the mid to upper 70s. Very cold air mass now digging into a large part of the country. I mean, places in Texas right now, Amarillo, Texas, down to 31. degrees. We're warmer than them, but it's not warm. 34. We're going to get colder here as we go into the overnight hours. This is a very impressive cold air mass. You can see how cold it is down in Texas. And the trend here is for well below average temperatures, not only here for a large part of the country through the middle to the end of this month. So this weather is going to be sticking around, potentially bringing some snow that will start to stick as well. We're looking at that into next week. Temperatures right now in the low to mid 30s. Woodstock, you're down to 30 degrees, and we are about 35 to 40 degrees colder than this time yesterday. There's that temperature change, but yesterday's high 76. So we're 40 degrees colder from our high yesterday. Temperatures go down near freezing, below freezing overnight. And into the day tomorrow, highs only in the 30s. Mostly cloudy skies, some light flurries flying around for our Saturday. Sunday will bring out the sunshine. It will at least look a little bit warmer outside, a bit deceiving, but our high temps only in the 30s. It's also going to be quite breezy through the weekend as well. The remnants of Nicole bringing some very heavy rain to parts of the Ohio River Valley. This will continue to skirt up and off to the north and east. We do have a few clouds, some moisture lingering around the area, and we could find some snowflakes trying to move through as we go into the day tomorrow. With winds out of the north and west, lake effect snow set up on the other side of the lake. We're going to watch out for Porter County tomorrow. Some of you north of Valpo could see some snow action, mainly over into LaPorte. However, with that said, that northeast corner of Porter County could see some snow showers, and even Porter County along the lakefront tomorrow throughout the morning and the afternoon with those winds out of the north and west. Water temperatures still in the 50s. As we go through the afternoon tomorrow, a few flurries across Illinois, but partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then our high temperatures here for the next couple of days below average by about 10 to 15 degrees. Average high 51. Our highs only in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. And then into the middle of next week, especially Tuesday, keeping our eye on the potential of some snow shower action. So as we go into tomorrow, some scatter flurries possible, lake effect, Michiana. As we go into Sunday, we get that sunshine across the board. It's going to be a little bit chilly still, so bundle up for the Bears game. As we head into Monday, clouds on the increase. We get close to 40. Tuesday, watching this disturbance that could bring in some light snow shower activity. Could potentially be the first measurable snow of the season, something that we're monitoring. Won't be a big snow, but the threat of some rain snow mix as well into the afternoon. Tonight, it's all about the chill out there. We're down into the 20s, low 30s. We're cool throughout the entire weekend, and in fact, this entire 7-day. Well below average temperatures continuing. That will be the theme. Have the winter gear ready to go with the threat of some passing snow showers through next week. Back to you guys.
Did you say passing snow showers?
Passing, moving on through.
That means they hit you in the face.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, get you
hey,
good.
The Dakota saw a blizzard already, so at least we're not talking that type of snow yet.
What's today, the 11th?
It is, yes.
Okay, so
yeah,
and Cheryl said
average
it's
first
normally
measurable
50s.
snow November 18th.
The 18th?
We're right there.
Okay.
We're right there.
Yeah, but this is below average, you said right now.
But it hurts a little bit more because yesterday it was 76. People were driving around with their convertibles. Shorts on.
I mean, it was
people
weird.
Playing tennis, golf.
It was just weird.
We've had a lot of 70s in November, though, so
yeah.
not out of the ordinary.
It was nice while it lasted.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about the next holiday, Thanksgiving, fewer than 2 weeks away, and it's probably no surprise that O'Hare, expected to be one of the busiest airports in the country over the week of Thanksgiving. Started listening to this album today, by the way.
The Charlie Brown one?
Yes, so good. So O'Hare will be the 7th busiest airport according to Hopper. As for the top 3, here they are. Coming in number 3 is Denver with more than 1 million travelers passing through. Dallas-Fort Worth comes in second with around 2,000 more travelers. And Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport expected to see the most travelers, more than 1.6 million. It's been busy for a couple of years now, right? It's been holding that top spot.
Are you going to go to any of those 3?
No.
For the Thanksgiving?
I've been through all of them, but I'm staying here.
Staying here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be holding it down.
Yeah, I'm holding it down here and then be at home. So it's all
right.
good.
Okay. All right. It is Friday, so you know what time it is. Coming up next, our I-Team Insider segment, the possible Chicago connection to the bodies showing up in Lake Mead. We talked to investigators. Chuck Gowdy talks about his trip to Vegas and what he uncovered. Tonight, the I-Team with what stays in Vegas, inside a Chicago mob story that is literally just surfacing. Our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy went to Las Vegas looking for bodies in a lake and looking for answers about who they are. Chuck.
Cheryl, it's one of the most famous slogans of any American city. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But tonight, what the mob may have intended to stay in a Vegas lake has now begun floating to the surface as a popular recreational area just east of Sin City dries up in a drought. It is known as a water wonderland, crystal clear and full of fish. Lake Mead is the man-made drinking water source for 25 million people. But lately, it's been stricken by a terrible drought. Coyotes roam a shoreline now haunted by a hidden past and sordid questions. 6 skeletons have surfaced, and so have stories of missing mob victims from the decades. Last May, one body found in a barrel with a bullet hole in the head, clothing from the 70s or 80s.
There are a couple of folks who disappeared at a very crucial time and very stressful time for the outfit in Las Vegas.
John L. Smith has been investigating the Chicago outfit for decades here in Las Vegas and is a well-known author on organized crime. Smith met the I-Team at Lake Mead, about 30 miles from this infamous gambling strip that was controlled by Chicago gangsters in the 70s and 80s, right when several mob-linked men vanished.
At the Stardust Hotel especially, they were never found, Jay Vandermark being one, Johnny Pappas being another.
Vandermark, a friend of Smith's family, worked here at the mob-connected Stardust as slot manager, and Chicago native Pappas worked at an outfit-run casino right on Lake Mead. Both disappeared in 1976 when the water level was normal. Now it's evaporating.
That is what caused the problem. Lake Mead used to be as high as that water line across the mountainside. Then, a drought caused water levels to fall more than 150 feet. And as the water level fell, the bodies started to rise.
They would have boats on the lake for celebrities, high rollers, people who are willing to pay for it. So there was always this connection with Lake Mead as a recreation area, and then eventually Lake Mead as the water supply. And now the water supply is dropping, so the bodies are bobbing up.
University of Nevada, Las Vegas history professor Michael Green tonight tells the I-Team he suspects Chicago mob figures are the most likely waterborne remains and that there are probably more to come.
The lake's dropping more, we're going to find more bodies. Or the lake is filling up again. We have to dive in there and find the bodies.
In August, DNA revealed one set of bones belonged to this boater who drowned in 2002 and disappeared. No outfit connections. But what about the others? Who would order lake murders? One name surfaces frequently.
If you ask the FBI back in the 70s and 80s, they attributed all kinds of murders to Tony Spilotro. They believed that he was killing people or having people killed on a regular basis.
Do you have any fears at all for your life?
Aunt Spilotro, seen here with this reporter as he bailed out of Cook County Jail in 1983, was himself murdered a few years later and found with his brother buried in this Indiana cornfield. At the Mob Museum in Vegas, Anthony Spilotro commands several displays, including the handcuffs he once wore.
Nobody's really connected all the dots yet on all these missing figures from that era. But, maybe these bodies coming up at Lake Mead will reveal something.
Getting inside the police investigation remains as elusive as identifying the corpses. Authorities in Las Vegas declining to discuss the cases at all, and it is possible that police won't be able to complete identifications. For now, though, law enforcement continuing to try to identify victims, motives, and killers, even though for some the larger environmental problem of a major lake drying up is more significant than a body count. Cheryl.
Chuck, this is a fascinating story, and many are still asking the question this many years later, does the Chicago outfit currently have a presence in Vegas?
There is a presence. There are Chicago mob figures identified as operating on the streets of Las Vegas, but it's certainly nothing like what it was in the 70s and 80s, where the Chicago mob literally bought, ran, and operated a handful of casinos there. Now, Vegas is corporate owned. These hotels are parts of chains. The casinos are all managed very tightly, not only by the companies, but by the state of Nevada. And so the Chicago mob really doesn't have that kind of presence, but they still run rackets there, loaning money, prostitution, drugs, all of the usual.
And Chuck, you were walking along Lake Mead. Why do they think the bodies of some of the people who were found there are related to people here in Chicago?
Well, the Chicago mob did have a significant presence back in the 70s, the early 80s, and at least with some of the bodies, it's believed that's how long they've been in the water. One found in a barrel was dead of a wound to the head, a bullet wound, and that individual is believed to be somebody that was affiliated with the Chicago mob. A second body is also believed to be somebody long missing that had Chicago mob connections. It was the case that back in the 70s and 80s, Cheryl, that if you worked in some mob-related position in Las Vegas, you were part of the Chicago mob because the outfit had that kind of a grip on the Las Vegas rackets.
Very interesting. And Chuck, some would say there hasn't been a mob hit in years, and people are questioning, has the outfit gone soft, as well as is there a decline in mob movement?
Well, there has been a decline in mob movement. The number of active mob members in the city of Chicago, and therefore spread out into cities like Las Vegas, has been drastically reduced, not only by age, but by imprisonment, prosecutions, natural attrition, you might say, from several hundred down to maybe less than 100 core members here in Chicago. But they still run the same kinds of rackets. It's loan sharking, prostitution, drugs, illegal gambling. They have to feed the appetite for people who don't want to play the state-sanctioned games. At the same time, they keep a much lower profile, and that's why we haven't seen a mob hit around here in a decade or so. There are still a couple of missing mobsters. Their bodies haven't been found, but you don't find bodies on the streets or in car trunks at O'Hare the way you used to.
Chuck, there was incredible archive video of you throughout this entire story. You have been covering these stories for the past 4 decades. What's your impression today after going to Lake Mead, and what did you learn that you didn't know before?
Well, of course, nobody thought that there would be bodies bubbling up at Lake Mead, and the only reason that this has happened is because of this environmental disaster out there, more than 2 decades of a drought that's caused the lake, one of the great recreational attractions, certainly in the Southwest and really in the U.S., caused it to drop hundreds of feet. The water levels, nobody thought that would happen to them. And so that's the biggest surprise, just that these bodies are floating to the surface at all. The other thing is that the nature of law enforcement seems to have changed in Las Vegas. 20 years ago, when we used to travel there to do organized crime stories, the police were very open and seemed to be honest. They would share their records. They would talk openly about who was in charge and what they were doing and potential cases that were under investigation, of course, within some parameters, not to wreck the police probe. Now, they won't even talk about bodies having been found in a public lake. They play a completely different game out in Las Vegas than what we were used to.
Chuck, before we let you go, what's your impression and takeaway? Because who knew there was a museum dedicated to this in Las Vegas?
It's one of the most popular tourist attractions in Las Vegas, Cheryl. Even during COVID, they managed to pack them in. And now that COVID is essentially over, they have standing room only in many of these attractions. It's a beautiful spot in an old federal courthouse in the old part of Las Vegas. And I would say at least half of it has some connection to Chicago, from Al Capone to Tony Accardo to the Spilatro brothers, and even some of the more recent names that have been arrested and prosecuted in Operation Family Secret. So if you're from Chicago and you like the mob, it's a must-see event.
Incredible reporting on your behalf, Chuck. Just fascinating story. Thank you for your insight and expertise on this in this Inside edition of the I-Team Insider.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Making a splash at the state championships, a high school swimmer overcoming the odds against her.
Love this story. She is the school's first swimmer with a disability. And Will Jones went to the western suburbs to find out how Navarro is making Chicago proud.
I just love the feeling of being able to glide through the water.
When Naperville North swimmer Reese Navarro tried out for the swim team, she didn't know she would be making school history. The freshman is the first swimmer at the school to compete in the Athletes with Disabilities swimming events. Now she's headed to the state championship Saturday, taking part in several races, including the 200-meter freestyle and the 100-meter breaststroke.
It's for sure exciting that I get to set records for people in the future to look at.
Navarro was born with a rare club foot. It was amputated when she was 4 years old. It may have impacted her pace, but not her competitive spirit. Before high school, she competed against able-bodied swimmers.
It was also cool because it taught me resilience and that it's okay and just to keep going and keep pushing myself and that I can improve my own times even if I'm not winning competitions.
After her performance at sectionals, Navarro is hoping to keep the momentum going at the state finals and make her teammates and school proud.
We're all very supportive of each other. We're going to be on the sidelines cheering very loudly for her.
No matter the outcome, Navarro has already made a name for herself in the pool, opening up a lane for other students with disabilities to follow.
You can do whatever you want to do. Don't let your physical capabilities stop you.
A model Navarro carries with her in and out of the pool. Will Jones, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
I'm glad Will got to talk to him.
I know, what an inspiration, just to let you never give up, even facing challenges and obstacles, because look at where you can go.
Talent, too.
You believe in yourself. All right, so cool. We're going to take a short break, everybody, but we'll be right back on the other side. Let's take a look inside. It's Friday. It's Feel Good Friday.
This is our studio.
And we got Greg on the ones and twos.
And Cheryl's drinking tea.
Yeah, with mango.
With caffeine.
And pineapple. It's green tea.
So it's got a little caffeine.
Yeah, I need some. It's Friday. It's been a long week.
Moving. It has. We got it.
Election, 14, 15-hour day. It's all good because it's Feel Good Friday and we're feeling good. Talk about a big birthday bash for the cuddly staff member at Chicago St. Patrick High School. They celebrated, yes, the school's therapy dog named Patrick, who turned 2 today. He joined the staff in February after a student's mom recommended that he could be very useful for the school. He's at the school every Wednesday, being available to the students and the teachers who may need a little pick-me-up.
Look at how happy he is.
Adorable. Look at that
makes me
jacket.
happy.
It's so cute. I
All
know.
dressed up.
I know, right? Hey, Patrick.
Very dapper.
Yeah,
Just hanging out.
Got a nice haircut going.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, baby. And
That's
the dogs.
what a great idea for the kids and the staff.
What a great concept.
It just makes you happier. I just started smiling as soon as I saw that fella.
You need therapy these days. Any way that can make you
Make
feel
you
good
feel a little bit better,
and
especially
and
back
help it
in
out.
person for so many
Yeah.
kids after the pandemic. This was an incredible surprise from the White Sox and the nonprofit Digs with Dignity Look at this. Single mom in the Chatham neighborhood, seeing her home after a makeover. Alexandria Llewellyn's Southside home now has new furniture, linens, decorations, even new toys for her 6-year-old son, Kamari.
Wow.
Digs with Dignity partners with social services agencies to donate refurbished furniture and home goods to people and families in need. South Paul right there. Some Sox memorabilia, too. Good day for them, enjoying their new home.
And he put like his jersey on her wall to remind her all the time who her favorite player is.
As well, and that boy's going to be a Sox fan for life. That's
I know,
awesome.
right? I mean, in South Paul, what a great event, and just kindness and generosity. And of course, this is the season of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And this is exactly what the season is really all about.
That's nice,
So,
for sure.
Congrats! Enjoy your new home. It's beautiful.
We read this story earlier today on ABC. Have you seen it?
Okay.
Here you go.
What's so funny?
Music.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're saying I do in the produce aisle. Hundreds of couples from across the country competed for a chance to get married at the Aldi Insight Center in Batavia. Winning couple was Jessica Bojanowski and Michael Hurd from Southgate, Michigan. They are now the first bride and groom ever to walk down the aisles of an Aldi. As a gift, they get free groceries for a year. I think it's
for a year. Now that is the best.
That's the best part of it.
I mean, that is the best. And riding in the carts like that, we used to do that as a kid. So I mean, he got to re-experience that.
It's a photo.
I mean, of course, it's Instagrammable, and we're talking about them.
It's marketing at its best, but it does help them, and
you'll never forget his wedding anniversary, and she won't either.
And every time they go into an Aldi, and everybody who was there, like, hey, that's where our friends walk down the produce aisle.
When you go into Aldi next time and shop, you'll think about it a little differently.
You get
won't
good
you?
stuff there too.
I
Their
know,
produce
right?
is great. So
Free
congratulations
groceries.
to them.
Best gift ever. All right.
This weekend, the Theta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority celebrating 100 years.
Well, this is the oldest graduate chapter in Chicago, and they are celebrating. The centennial president is here with us today, and she joins us live to tell us about your organization. Hey, Kim, how's it going?
It's such a pleasure to be on with you all. Thank you so much.
Hey, we're glad to have you on this Friday.
Yes, we call it Feel Good Friday, the hour of power. So let's talk about some feel goods happening this weekend with your organization.
Well, this weekend we are commemorating the fact that 6 women came together in November 5th to be exact, 1922, to charter this organization that has given lifelong service to Chicago for over 100 years. And we're talking about service in absolutely every area you can think of, trying to make an impact, giving scholarships to young women who are going to college, almost $50,000 every year. We're talking about making sure that our residents have got free legal aid, food, warmth, shelter, all of the things that we really need to do to help our brothers and sisters around the city of Chicago. This weekend, we will be celebrating at the Magnificent Mile Marriott downtown. Just all of those accomplishments, all of the people who have been in this organization. Right now, we have approximately 400, and all of the women who have led the organization. Just a time to look back on those accomplishments and also to look forward to all the rest of what we need to do.
Well, Kim, why do you think it's so important? I mean, tens of thousands of dollars over the years to these scholarships.
Right.
So why do you think that is so important?
It's important because if you know anything about Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated or any of the Divine Nine organizations, Cheryl Verdi belongs to one. She is our sister, Delta Sigma Theta. If you know anything about these organizations, they are founded on scholarship. And this is something that must be perpetual in our community. We want to make sure we pay it forward. So what we do is ensure that the next generations have the opportunity to get the education that they want. Some of these scholarships follow these young women throughout their entire college career.
Wow.
We're very proud of that.
So Kim, how can you support the Woodlawn community? I know you specifically like to work with the Woodlawn community, and how can people help you, reach your goals of helping the next generation to their dreams?
One of the things you can do, of course, is drop by our center. We just finished paying off our mortgage for our beautiful state-of-the-art center on 6220 South Ingleside. Paid it off in 15 years rather than 30. We're very proud of that as well. But it's just a bustling center full of activities, and we, of course, have lots of community organizations who also utilize our facility. And another way, you can visit us on Akarama, aka RAMA thetaomega.com or thetaomega.com to find out more about all of the programming that we do and all of the initiatives that we have. And we love to have volunteers, and also let us know how we can assist you. What is needed in your community?
And can I just say, y'all are everywhere?
I know.
I mean, I know so many of you.
You know, that's what the Divine Nine is all about, right?
Share some of that energy
right,
with other people, because the
Samantha
passion
Chapman's an AKA.
is there. It's great.
Yeah, my sister Sherry's an AKA. My brother's wife is an AKA. But of course, all of my sisters are Deltas, and my mom was a Delta. But like Kim said,
Alpha?
my brother's an Alpha. My dad was an Alpha. He went to Morehouse with Dr. Martin Luther King. They're both Alphas. So we're all in the Divine Nine. And you know what, Rob? Ours is really about sisterhood, service, and scholarship. Those are the main three goals that we do.
Great.
So we are the Divine Nine Sisters. Kim is my sister tonight. We wish you best blessings this weekend with your event. 100 looks real good on you, Kim. 100, the centennial. You're looking good. We need to know your secret. So congratulations and best blessings to you this weekend.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
You got it. Congrats paying that mortgage off, too.
Yeah,
that's more money
that's huge.
to help out a lot of other scholarships. Thanks so much.
Changing lives. All right. Pink and green love there. All right.
So coming up, Chris Rock getting ready for a new comedy special.
Okay. And when it happens, he'll be making history, as he always does at Netflix.
Did you hear about this story? An NFL player rushes to a game immediately after his wife gives birth.
Let's talk about that.
Hey, a couple people
Hey,
out
you
on
guys.
stage.
Hi, happy Friday. It's Feel Good Friday. Yeah, you're on TV. She's like, I'm on TV. You're on TV. Yeah, she's so excited. We're excited too. Yeah, hey.
Chris Rock's new Netflix special will be the first of its kind.
Okay, he's always breaking the rules and changing the game. He's going to perform at the company's first ever streaming event. We like streaming, right?
Live streaming.
It's live streaming.
What could
That's
go wrong?
powerful. Nothing. We have few details. It's happening next year. It will be his second Netflix special, as you know. And in the past, he hinted that it could be when he finally addresses that infamous Oscar slap. I bet he does next year. That's the buildup. And it could be around when the Oscars air. Netflix says that the show will be a, quote, unforgettable moment.
Live TV with him, it would be,
I saw him in April, right after
Right
the
after you
slap.
said down south
in
in
Florida,
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. So, and he was here in October, remember,
Right
Rob?
across the street, added a show.
Yep, added a show 3 nights.
I bet he'll be talking about it.
You gonna
Live
watch?
Would be, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
do you want to know how he feels?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't,
Next year, will people be even thinking about
Right, that's just
Right.
it. He's waited for a while.
Right.
This incredible moment last night before Thursday
Yes.
night football kicked off. Left tackle Jake Matthews, he's hustling.
Look at him.
Jogging into the stadium about 80 minutes before kickoff because earlier that day, his wife Maggie gave birth to a baby boy.
Wow.
Matthews was at the hospital, then went straight to the plane of the Falcons owner to fly to Charlotte for the game. Maggie Matthews posted on social media that, quote, she did her best Falcons fans.
That's
Nice job.
okay. I mean, I think the Falcons lost last
They
week.
did lose the
but,
game.
That's okay because they got a new life.
Yeah, I was going to say,
they got
he
a new
doesn't care.
baby boy.
He's like, and I think he's got this streak of consecutive games. I think it's the longest streak in the NFL. He hasn't missed a game in, like, I don't think ever.
And that's
in his
why he
career.
probably didn't want to miss it. Plus, he didn't want to miss the baby coming.
That's what matters. Come
that's
on,
what
it's just
matters
football.
because
But he did
20
both.
years from now, you'll say, I saw you come into the world. I welcomed you.
Yes, and he played well.
So,
we got 9 minutes left on this Friday show. There's some folks outside enjoying the weather.
They
The
don't
guys getting
mind.
the Christmas decorations
Yeah,
going.
the winter presentation is what it's called.
These dudes work so fast.
They're so creative and it's gorgeous.
It's incredible.
It's going to be so festive.
It's feeling
Yep,
festive
see?
downtown.
Look, it looks
Yeah.
so pretty. Hey,
Oh,
girls.
all right, girls.
They're so
Oh,
sweet.
she got me chilly. Look how excited she is. We want a last look at your weather forecast with Cheryl Scott. Oh, they're coming back. Yes.
Yeah,
So
the whole
cute.
family. I know, right, Cheryl?
She's
You
my
see the
man
winter
director.
presentation, Cheryl? Are you in the mood? Are you getting holiday festive? You go down State Street and see the gorgeous lights. Are
I
you
mean, I
getting
am
there?
excited for the city to light up.
Okay.
Am I getting ready at home? No.
No, yeah, you got some time
We
on
got the
it.
holiday lights parade next Saturday.
No, and we're gonna freeze.
You know, no, Cheryl, did you check? Did you?
Oh yes,
you
of course I checked.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
what is it? It's kind of far out. It's 8 days.
Yeah, but it looks like it'll be in the 30s and 20s.
I'll go.
Dry as of right now.
That's good, dry.
Okay, well, we'll take that, Cheryl, because
So-
we can layer.
You're doing it with Alan.
Yes.
I'm going on the float.
You're going to be on the float?
Yeah.
Yay, Cheryl's going to be on the float. She's always on the float.
my wave down.
Is Lola going to be on the float too? Maybe
Not
If
this
she's-
year.
Not this year, because
Not
she
this
has
year.
been on.
There's just a lot of waving.
Yeah, work on it.
Yeah,
work on
I'm
that.
good. This is, I mean,
Yeah,
it needs
because you
to be a
haven't been
little
on the
more-
float in a while,
It's a little
Rob.
more like this.
Is Wendy and John coming with you?
No.
No? Okay.
Just me.
All right.
It's an aggressive wave. This
No,
is
you
more-
can't. You got to do.
got just-
the joyful Christmas.
You look like a robot.
Holiday.
I don't know what this is. You're painting something. What are you painting?
Wax
None of us are good at
Put
it.
you on the mic, Rob.
Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah. No. Okay, let's see your wave.
Yeah, come on, Cheryl.
Here we go.
She's
Hey,
the
there's
expert.
Cheryl
Let's
Scott.
go.
Oh, that's
so cute. And Cheryl
That's-
has the cutest headdress that she wears. She pays tribute to Disney.
She's good at that.
all the time. So we
it's
love
more
it.
of a-
Yeah.
Disney parade.
Yeah. And you know who's going to be here? Sister Sledge.
Oh, I thought it was Mickey.
We're going to have Lion King representatives, The Wicked. Debbie Gibson's going to sing.
That's the Carlton.
But you do the Carlton.
Okay.
All right,
I'm working
Cheryl.
on it. I'm
Take it
working
away,
on it.
Cheryl.
Guys, cold. Back to you.
Got you.
Oh, here we are. We're
Okay.
talking about the coldest area of the season. It's here. It's going to continue to get colder. As we head overnight, coldest night right now, we're down to 33 degrees. Our temperatures will continue to drop here. And not only are we looking cold through the weekend, beyond the 7-day, take a look at what models are projecting here. And we're looking at below average temperatures right through the middle to the end of November. Outside right now, freezing, literally, near 32 degrees across the board. We'll continue to see those temperatures drop. We are so much colder than this time yesterday by about 40 degrees. As we head into the day tomorrow, after we wake up in the 20s and 30s, we barely recover because high temperatures tomorrow only in the mid 30s. So we are talking anywhere from about 15 degrees, 10 to 15 degrees below average. The average high 51. We are well below it Saturday, Sunday, continuing into next week. Colder and some light flurries for our Saturday. Yes, don't be surprised to see a few snowflakes flying around by Sunday. We get you that sunshine back in place. A lot of rain here impacting New England and the Northeast because of the remnants of Nicole. And then we have some cloud cover, some moisture up to the north of us, and we could see a few snowflakes develop here overnight and into the day tomorrow. Now, most of this will be lake effect snow. Winds out of the north and west, bringing some snow showers to parts of Porter and LaPorte County tomorrow. So don't be surprised to see some snow here, mainly east of our area. But for Porter County, we're going to include you in that threat of some snow showers tomorrow. Some flurries possible in Illinois, not looking at anything accumulating. As we go into Sunday, we get you that sunshine. But as we head into the middle of next week, early next week, another round of snow potential on the way. And this one could potentially be our first measurable snow of the season. So as we head into next week, our high temperatures right near 40 degrees and below, staying well below average through the remainder of next week. Goodbye to those 70s. We're cold and a few flurries tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We start to clear out second half of our Saturday, Sunday, beautiful and sunny. Heading to the Bears game, anything outside. Bundle up. It's going to be cold, but hey, dry. On Monday, another dry day, so no worries here. Temperatures continuing below average into Tuesday. There you can see that white and blue. We haven't really displayed too much of this yet this season. We've had some lake effect snow hit parts of our region. Not so much here, but as we go into Tuesday, the threat of accumulating snow, not a lot, but it could potentially be our first measurable snow, mixing with some rain at times as well. So we'll continue to monitor that, but don't be surprised. I mean, this 7-day looks more like end of November, December, into January. We're looking at those temperatures staying below average each and every day. We'll be right back.
Here's a look at what the I-Team's working on for tonight at 10.
Hi, I'm Jason Knowles. Mail thieves snagging your checks and cashing them. In some cases, they're altering the check amounts, which can wipe out your account. Growing concerns about mail theft and tips to protect yourself from the scam. That's tonight at 10 on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Hey, listen up, Swifties. Taylor Swift has added 17 shows to her upcoming Eras tour, making it her biggest tour yet, and it includes an extra show here in Chicago. Swift had previously announced she'd be on tour Friday, June 2nd in town, and Saturday, June 3rd, she'll spend the weekend here with another Soldier Field show set for Sunday, June 4th. Tickets go on sale next week.
Yep, Michelle has all her computers lined up. Our producers
big
ready
fan.
to go. Big fan.
Real quick, the band or the
it's going to be the Pointer Sisters, not Sister Sledge, at the Holiday Lights Parade next weekend. But Debbie Gibson still only in my dreams.
That's why we figured out.
Yeah.
As real as it may seem. We're doing the Carlton.
It's Friday.
It's a Christmas Carlton.
Good night. Yay. We'll see you at 10 o'clock over on ABC 7. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.